Hello everybody, I'm the Horror Movie Guy, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the movie Child's Play. I did a video similar to this a while ago about the movie It, but today we're going to be doing Child's Play. So let's get into it. Also, before we start, there are going to be spoilers for the movie Child's Play, so if you've not seen it, click off now, watch it, come back to this video. Alright, the movie opens when Charles Lee Ray is running away from the main cop in this movie, Mike Norris. Charles gets shot in the leg while his driver drives away. So Charles runs into a nearby toy store, and when he does, you can hear him mumbling under his breath, saying he's got to find somebody. But when he can't find anybody, he runs into a stack of good guy boxes. And when he does, you can see a look of realization on his face that he could transport his body into the doll so he could survive this encounter. The name Charles Lee Ray is a combination of a bunch of real life serial killers, such as Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray. Also, the toy store was built for the movie, so when they blow it up a little bit later, that they actually blew it up so they could get that real. Also, when the title of the movie comes on, Child's Play, the A and the I are not capitalized, which spells AI. And the Child's Play remake was a Chucky doll that was AI. A little connection there. Uh, After all that, we see Andy making breakfast like a little menace, making a mess everywhere. And he's wearing good guy pajamas, and in the background, he's watching a good guy's TV show. And the kid on the TV show has a target on his shirt, symbolizing that Andy is going to be the target in this movie. Then there's a commercial talking about the new good guy doll, and Andy wants it. When Andy opens his presents from his mom, he doesn't get the good guy doll after his mom goes, so he gets all upset and stuff. After his mom goes to work, she goes to a peddler behind her work and gets a good guy doll from the man. Then the mom has to work late, so her friend Maggie has to go watch Andy. Uh, and when Maggie puts Andy to bed, she puts him to bed, and then a little later she hears the TV turn on, so she thinks Andy's doing it to just mess around with her. But Chucky, the doll, is in front of the TV, and you just think Andy did it for a little second, but then obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know. Um, and then she yells at Andy, telling him to go to bed, and he's obviously confused. He's like, I didn't do that. So he just goes to bed. Later, Maddie's watching TV and she hears like little footsteps running around, and she then like what's it, like a box, not a box, like a container of sugar, or sugar jar, yeah, uh, gets knocked over, and she just cleans it up. But when she does, she gets a hammer to the head and falls out the window and dies. When the mom comes home later that night, she sees a bunch of police and all the like investigators around. So she obviously thinks either Maggie or Andy is dead. Uh, so she's greeted by a bunch of police saying that there's been an accident and someone died. And when she walks in, they're questioning Andy, asking if he did it, and he doesn't know what's going on because he was asleep, but obviously Chucky knocked her out of the window. Uh, then on the bottom of Chucky's feet, there are like sugar footprints matching the ones that were in the sugar. Uh, so then the next day, next day Andy brings Chucky to his school, and Chucky tells Andy to go to Eddie Caputo's house, which was the getaway driver that I mentioned earlier. So when they go on a public transport alone, just this 6-year-old kid, and with a doll. So they go, and Andy, when they get there, Andy has to take a pee, and Chucky goes on in, and the house blows up, and that sadly is the end of Andy Barclay, 1982 to 1988. No, I'm just messing with you. Next scene is they're at a social worker's office talking about how maybe they should take Andy away for a while because he's thinking the doll is talking to him and making him do things. But obviously, in the eyes of a parent, they would definitely be concerned because like this kid's toy is talking to him. But to Andy, this is real because the doll is talking to him. So then uh, they decide to put him into a hospital just so they can monitor him. But they don't bring the Chucky doll. So next, the mom brings the Chucky doll home, and she notices that there are no batteries inside. Batteries not included was their working title for this movie until they decided Child's Play. So after that, Chucky bites her and runs off. So the mom goes to find Mike Norris, and Mike Norris obviously doesn't believe her. She just thinks that he just thinks that she's kind of crazy. Uh, so the next scene would show Chucky going to his friend John's house, who taught him all this voodoo stuff, and he finds his John's voodoo doll, so he kind of tortures him, and it's just he just gets stabbed by the voodoo doll, and apparently that kills him. So yeah, and then next after that, since Chucky learns from John that he can only transfer his soul into the first person he revealed himself to, so that'd be Andy. So he goes to the mental hospital, or just hospital, yeah. And during that scene, you can see Chucky walking on the stairs, but that's obviously not like the puppet that they used for this movie. It's a guy in like a Chucky costume, because no way Chucky is like as tall as he would be from that distance. And I'll put up a picture here, but it's not. It's obviously not the doll. So then Andy's freaking out because he's like, I'm locked in this room and I'm gonna die. So he comes up with a plan to put a pillow under the blanket. So when Chucky jumps in, he thinks he's gonna wake up Andy, but it's just a pillow. And then Andy's able to sneak out, which is surprising because if he can't even make himself breakfast, I don't know how he could come up with that. So next, they just kind of run around the hospital for a bit, and Andy goes into this one like operation room kind of, and he has a scalpel, and he's trying to defend himself from Chucky. Then the doctor comes in and he's like, don't do that. So he's about to sedate Andy so he can calm down, but then Chucky puts on an electric shock thing on the doctor's head, and he dies. And it's just crazy to me that there's a device that's able to shock a grown man to death in a child's hospital, and that's just crazy. So after that, Andy decides to go home, which is again crazy to me. How can a child who's 6 find his way home in Chicago? But he finds his way home, and Chucky follows him there. So does the mom and the officer Mike Norris, who also I forgot to mention got attacked in the car by Chucky before he went to John's place, because he gets shot and he's like, I feel pain and I'm bleeding. But basically, they all end up back at their apartment. When they get there, Andy's knocked out and Chucky's scurrying around. So they decide to put him in the fireplace and they burn him alive. So, and then Andy drops he drops this crazy one-liner. He says, "This is the end, friend," and Chucky burns, and that's where you think the movie ends, but nope. Chucky comes back. He's burnt, so they shoot him in the arm, uh, and they think he died. He comes back. They shoot him in the head. He dies. Then he comes back one more time. They shoot him in the heart. That's it. And then the last shot of the movie is Andy looking back in the room, realizing that he's never going to be the same after this, and that he's seen something that not every child, not children should see. Also, earlier when Andy got home, he goes to hide in the closet, which is a reference to Halloween, because that's where Laurie Strode hides in Halloween in the closet, and then she pokes Michael Myers in the face with the clothes hanger. So yeah, this is it. Child's Play is a great movie. Would highly recommend for you guys to watch, and watch it now that you know some things that you might have missed before. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Comment if there's anything else, any of these other movies that you want me to do a breakdown of. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.